And happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy February, actually. February 1st. I don't know what happened the last month, but it sure went by quick. At least it did for me, anyway. Hope everyone's doing well. And today we're with Teresa Cody, Dr. Teresa Cody, if I remember correctly. And she has written a book called You Heal You. And I believe it deals a lot with plasma and how it can help heal you.
Yes, that's exactly what it deals with. I'm a dentist, and we've been using platelet rich plasma in dentistry for over 30 years. But I really didn't know how good it was. So the way we use it in dentistry is we use it with a bone graft, close up the area, wait 3 months, and then you can put an implant in. So I didn't really realize the depth of what it was doing until my hairdresser, she got me into this mess. But it's fantastic. So she had trigger fingers in her right hand, and she had gotten cortisone shots. And of course, the pain went away for about 4 months. And she said, I think I'm going to go get another shot. And I said, you can't keep doing that. And she's like, really? I said, no, you're limited at 3 times in one area. I said, come into the office and we'll put plasma in, or PRP. And since we've been friends for 30 years, she said, okay. So that's where this started. So I injected her hand, and she went from not being able to make a fist at all. She couldn't touch her thumb and her index finger together, to being able to make a fist within 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And I went, oh my, what is this? I told her, oh yeah, you'll see something in about 6 weeks. No, 2 days.
That's quite amazing right there.
Yeah, so anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say, we talked a little bit before the show, and it's actually you use the own person's plasma. You don't use somebody else's. Right.
So we draw the blood and we spin it in a centrifuge, and we use an anticoagulant because plasma's first job is to clot. And so then the red blood cells fall to the bottom of a test tube, and the yellow plasma is on top. So then we just pipette it off and use that.
Now, you probably did a lot of research after you saw the plasma work like that. Can you?
Yeah. Well, I said, oh my, what is this? So doing the research, I found that there are 15, they're called them growth factors in there, but there's probably more, because if you go back in the research, you realize they found 7 like 10 years ago, and then they found a little more. So there may be many more. And for example, there's a factor, I like to call them the healing factors. There's a factor in there that attracts stem cells. And then there's another factor that tells the stem cell what to become. Because stem cells they're called undifferentiated cells, so they can become anything the body needs. But stem cells don't become anything unless you add plasma, because the plasma is basically the director of healing. And that's how your body heals. That's why people donate plasma and they use it with very sick people, because you need plasma to heal.
Mm, I can definitely agree with that. I actually know a few people that go out and do donate plasma. So it's
like, I mean, it's in the blood, so they match the blood. And so you can use other people's plasma, but for what we're doing, we use your plasma. Because we're injecting. I have a nurse on staff and I have a medical director, and we do knees and feet and shoulders and hips and face for aesthetic treatments, because the skin gets better.
It's pretty much good for just about anything. So what inspired you to write the book about all this?
You know what? I just wanted people to know about it. And I knew if I didn't write it at the time, I was going to soon forget. We think we're going to remember all the events, but we don't remember them. I've been in dentistry for 30 years, and we always thought about we should write a book on the wacky thing patients do. But we never wrote it down. So, now you don't remember. And so I knew that. And I thought, well, I'm going to sit down and write just the stories of patients that came in, and the successes we had. And some, like, it didn't work in one instance was Dupuytren's. Do you know what that is? It is, it's called Dupuytren's contracture. And Northern European males mainly get it. You've probably seen Tom Brady. I think he does a commercial for Dupuytren's, and it's their hands, the ligaments in here in the hand, they get shorter and shorter, and it makes the hand collapse, pulls the fingers down. So, but I think it worked with one gentleman and not another, but I think it was too far gone. There is a point when, but for tendons and ligament injuries, fantastic. Well, they use this in horse medicine, right?
That I did not know.
Yeah. Well, my neighbor has horses, and she said that's the first thing they want to do. But if they have the long ligaments and tendons, but you have to put your horse down so they let us be down. They don't offer this.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness they don't put us down. Now, with writing this book, I'm actually kind of glad you're not my dentist, because you'd have a hell of a story with me of how people act in the chairs. I can tell you, dentists, I haven't met one dentist that I got along with. So in the chair, let's put it that way, in the chair.
Yeah. Well, fear makes people do very, very wacky things. And sometimes it makes them mean.
I don't think I'd be mean, but I would definitely be buried in the chair somehow, some way.
Well, you're not alone. There's a lot of people who don't like to come to see us.
Now, with a lot of this healing factor, how many different, I don't want to say experiments, because that's kind of a bad word to use. Trials. How many different ways have you helped people heal through this?
Well, we've used it, so we just think about it as concentrating the healing in one place. Your body was already producing it, but we're just giving extra to the space. So we have treated plantar fasciitis in the feet, knee ligaments, hips, post-surgical. I had one patient who's been a dental patient for years, and then she started coming over to the wellness center that we have. And we planned to give her her own plasma post-surgical. So she had 2 carpal tunnel syndrome surgeries at both wrists at the same time. And so actually I went over to her house and gave her the injections while she was still numb. And the doctor told her it would be 6 months before she had full strength and full motion. And she had full strength in 8 weeks. And I know it's the plasma that does it.
So definitely the plasma is definitely healing. So where can people find the book that you wrote, You Heal You?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon?
Mm-hmm. You Healing You here. I brought one in the room. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
looks like. And, it's my first attempt to write a book. And I felt like it was a tome. It's 100 pages.
Writing
But
books are not easy.
well, I heard a guy, and I wish I'd paid attention to who it was, and he was a prolific writer, and they said, how do you write so many books? And he says, well, I write 200 crappy words a day. And I thought, well, I could write 200 crappy words a day. Once you take the pressure off, you quit editing and you just start writing. And then you throw half of it away. That's what I found anyway.
Editing can be a big pain.
But most of us edit while we write. And that's when you never get past that 3rd sentence.
For me, I actually have to go back and reread what I wrote.
You do?
Yes.
Because you don't even know what it is. You let it flow?
Just let it flow, basically, and then go back, reread. So that's
what I had to do.
And like I said, it's not an easy task.
No.
And with what you're doing, I mean, time-wise, that had to have been hard, being a dentist and actually helping these other people and writing. So
yes, no, I had to squeeze it in, right. And I just really attempted to write 200 words a day, and sometimes it was 20. And sometimes it was 300, 400. So it depended on how much time I had. I do have 3 associates that work for me, 3 associate dentists. So, but my husband and I own the dental office. My husband is also a dentist. So
now you experiment is such a bad word. I don't like that word. You used this in the teeth before you actually found out that it could work with others. How does that work with the teeth?
Well, if you lose a tooth, there's a big hole. And if you want an implant, you have to have bone to put a dental implant in. So we've used platelet rich plasma for over 30 years, since the late 80s. Because the jawbone doesn't have blood flow. So you didn't get a good bone graft if you didn't use it. That's what we knew. We didn't know exactly what it was doing, but we knew if you didn't put it in, you weren't going to be able to have enough bone for the implant. So, but we would put it in, close it up, close the area up, wait 3 months, and then bone was there. But I had no idea how fantastic it heals everything. And they used to use it post-surgical in the hospitals, but medical insurance doesn't want to pay for it. So then the hospitals don't want to even offer it. That's what, one of my patients, she's an OR nurse, and that's what she said. They don't even offer it anymore. It's unfortunate, I can tell you. It heals everything, everything it touches.
Now, I don't want to overstep my boundaries here, but where are you located? So if somebody wants to
Yeah.
try
Well,
this,
we're so I have a dental office, that's CNC Dental. And a few years ago, I opened CNC Wellness. And that's where we do most of the plasma work. And I'm in Sugar Land, Texas, right outside of Houston. And I do have patients who have flown in from other cities. It's unfortunate because I really think doctors just don't know how good it is. You know, they didn't experiment on anybody, and they don't know that it helps nerves heal up very quickly. We treated a number of Bell's palsy patients, and that, from my biology training, that shouldn't heal up quickly, but it does. So I have had patients fly in, and because they just couldn't find it in their area. But we also use it aesthetically for our skin. It's called the vampire facial.
There we go. Now, can people find you online?
Yes. At cncwellness.com and CNC. That's the letter C and the letter C. My husband, I kept my maiden name, but his name is Cashin. So for years we were Cashin and Cody Dental, and we couldn't think of anything else. And then I built a new building, and it's CAND Wellness. Okay. Yeah, that's the word that. And. Yeah. And I built a new building, and I didn't have room for Cashin and Cody, so I changed my name about 10 years ago to CNC. CAND. I know I always have to spell it out for people.
I was close. I just forgot the A and D there.
Well, that's it.
There we go.
And I have about 18 employees in the dental office, so I answer the phone for the wellness. I'm trying not to hire any more people. I don't know if you have any employees, but that's probably the hardest part of business.
It can be. I used to be a manager of a few places, so yes, it can be.
Yeah, the equipment doesn't talk back. The equipment shows up, but the people don't.
I love you, laptop.
You never yell at me. Of course, you don't work half the time, but I yell at it.
I was going to say, I can't tell you how many times I've cussed it out.
But it never takes it personally.
No. And it never leaves.
I know. Oh, that's so funny.
But I do want to thank you for coming on, and everybody go check out our book, You Healing You. It's on Amazon, and you can check her out at www.candcwellness.com. And we will be here on Saturday at 11 a.m. with Tiffany Grant, voice actress, and we can't wait to talk to her. And until our next show, adios.